Welcome to another installment of Community Drumming Facilitation. This is World Drum Club, and I'm Kalani, your host and teacher. And I often get asked to present different types of group drumming or community drumming experiences for different groups of people. And sometimes the people who contact me have an idea of the type of experience that they want to have. For example, one time I got a phone call from somebody who said, we'd like you to do a drum circle, and we have a group of kindergartners, and we'd like them to have a drum circle. And part of my job as a community drumming facilitator is to qualify the customer and make sure that what they think they want is actually what they want, and or to help offer them other options that I think might be better suited, because in this case, I think they just use the word drum circle, meaning they just want to see kindergartners playing drums. But they probably didn't understand that a drum circle is really something that the participants create themselves in a group. And that is not really something that a group of kindergartners does typically, maybe for 2 minutes. You know, if you unleash a group of kindergartners on drums, I pretty much can tell you exactly what's going to happen. They'll be super excited, run over. It'll be a mad, mashup of rumbling, and there'll be some sound, and then 2 or 3 minutes later, they're going to move on and want to do something else. So really, 5 and 6-year-olds need a lot of structure, and then we can have a great time, maybe singing songs. They could dance, get up, sit down, move around. We need to move. We need to change things up. They're not going to do a drum circle in the traditional sense. So part of what I do is to help educate people who contact me and give them options that might be better or more better suited for the population and the occasion and the outcome. So one of the first things I do is ask the question, okay, what's the goal of the event? You say you want to have a drum circle, but what is your goal for the participants? Is it educational? Are we there to learn to do something? Are we there just to have an energy shift? Are we there just to get out some excitement? What are we there to do in general? And then maybe I can present some options that might be, better. For example, if somebody says, well, I'd really like people to socialize, then maybe a rhythm game or a name game or a song about, that leaves space for people to interject something personal into the music or something like that would be a great thing to introduce. But they don't necessarily know they don't know how to ask me for that by name. So they might just say the word drum circle, but to me that means a very specific thing. So, it's about having a conversation and educating the customer or the consumer about the possibilities. What are some of the things we can do? I think for me personally, for younger children, because drum circles aren't really in their native culture, that doing something like songs, rhythm games, drum-alongs, where they play along to a song, that is going to be more successful and more appropriate for that particular population. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Part of your role as a community drumming facilitator or CDF is to educate, the people who contact you for various types of community drumming services. And that's how you can approach it, is ask them, what would you like to see, or what's the goal, what's the main goal, and what are the kinds of things you'd like to see people doing in terms of their interaction or their experience. What do you want the energy to be like? What do you want the mood to be like? What would you like to see people doing? And then from there you can say, okay, if that's your goal, let me give you some options to help us move in that direction. All right? Hope that all makes sense. If you have anything to add, please add it below. This is Community Drumming Facilitation. I'm Kalani Dawson. This is World Drum Club. Thanks for tuning in.